it was quite a long gap between the location stuff and the set stuff. In fact, my daughter was born between the two shoots. And so as a result, the editing had happened in two halves as well. I had edited all of the location scenes first, and then a year later, I was able to edit the studio scenes and slot those into the middle. The thing I love about editing is it's basically like building a greatest hits tape of your actors' performances. You can build the perfect version of the film based on what options the actors have given you. So we had filmed all of Craig's side facing him in the morning, and then we'd shot Phil's side in the afternoon. So what I could then do was to intercut these two angles and build what I considered to be the strongest version of the story, and I had a lot of fun doing that.
Steve did a phenomenal job in tying it all together. When you get in the lift, it starts moving, and then by magic and the wonderful magic of movies, it turns into a set. It's seamless, it's perfect watching the final thing.
Anytime you see the floor or the ceiling, we had done that in the real lift because there wasn't a real floor or ceiling in the set. So again, these little cutaways really help you build the idea that you are still in the actual lift.
I still don't know how he manages to make it look seamless. And I'm in the bloody film and I can't work it out. I'm looking at it going, but I'm in the lift, it's the Baltic, it's in the exact place we stopped. How does that work? And it's wonderful to see the power of filmmaking.
There are some scenes where it's cutting between Michael and John, and they're actually over a year apart and they're in completely different places.
That again is down to being a great director, but also having a huge vision for being an editor.
Surprisingly, with this film, there were actually also quite a few visual effects shots. These were mostly tidying up a few details to match the real lift with the set, and then for the moment the lift gets stuck, we used the actor's performance in the set as the foreground, and then we comped in the background from what we had filmed on location. We also added more extras to the lobby scene because this had been quite tricky to time consistently in each take, and to make the large space look busy in the time available. Then there was sound design, and it was particularly fun to create the sounds of the lift stalling and some terrifying creaking noises. The final process was our composer, Alex Burnett, creating this wonderful music score which really elevated the whole film. This was always going to be a really tricky film to make look good on a very small budget. We had night shoots and dramatic lighting and specific props and extras and stunts and VFX plates, practical effects, and most of all matching our studio set to the location scenes that we'd filmed a year earlier. But I think thanks to teamwork and careful planning, and most of all a detailed shot list, we got our very ambitious 17-page script shot in just a few days.
There was a good story, a solid story, which many directors could have came and shot. Steve, what he did was he was always adding another tone. There was always something more going on than just the story itself. There was a whole visual ambition there, and there was a want to push himself as well.
It felt that the budget was so much bigger than it was in reality because of the locations, the set, and the build that we had. So as a producer, it's quite honestly the most professional thing I've done.
You never know what to expect with a short film, but you always hope for something really special. And I think for me, Payback, just because of all of the elements, all of the obstacles we overcome, but also because of the vision, the direction, the ambition, and the desire to make something, I think, quite exceptional. It has worked. It's one of those ones where you're very proud to be a part of, but also it's a calling card. It's one of them ones where you go, ooh, watch this space type of thing. If that's Payback, then watch what happens when they come back.